This is gonna come from me. Be the change I couldn't be. Can I find a life that's like fairy tales, far from this tragedy?
Alright, so welcome back to another Anime Guardian video. So in this video, we're going to be checking out this pretty much part 2 of the Chainsaw Man update. And yeah, they pretty much added these 4 units. I already have 3 of them. I just need to evolve Denji so I can have the 4th. But yeah, pretty much I'm going to be showcasing these units. And there's also this new event, pretty much is the limited world boss event. In this event, you can get pretty much the capsules to get 1 unit. You also can get 2 units from the world boss event. It resets every hour, so there's like different, I guess, 2 different units. There's also material to evolve Denji as well, so just keep that in mind. I'm gonna go through how to actually solo this. You technically can macro it, but it took honestly, it's really difficult in my opinion to macro it because the boss, you just can't nuke it. Like, it's mostly pure DPS, and if you have Sukuna, then you're probably gonna be okay, if I'm gonna be honest. But if you don't have Sukuna, good luck trying to beat the event. It's probably beatable, but without Sukuna, it's almost like it's nearly impossible in my personal opinion. But I'm gonna show you guys. So you guys see, I already have Featherline. I don't really know how to pronounce her name. I don't watch the anime where she's from. I also have Power as well right over here. There's Ellen Joe over here as well, and of course Denji as well. I just pretty much need to evolve him. I do have the materials, so right here you guys can see I have enough materials. Thank God for that. And then we can pretty much evolve Denji, and yeah, we pretty much got the Dark Chainsaw Devil. Okay. So pretty much now I'm gonna show you guys how to like beat the world boss event just real quick. It's pretty simple. I mean, so this is pretty much my setup. Keep in mind that the reason why you don't have Sukuna is because he's gonna be your main damage dealer. Gojo's gonna be there for time stop. Pucci's gonna pretty much put all the enemy back into like the spot where they spawn. And the devil, this one, Darkness Devil, he's just DPS, so you can honestly use any DPS. For example, I could use like probably Wang Ling as well, but I'm gonna use Darkness Devil. I will say though, you want to have ancient ancient traits on him. So you can use honestly any artifact, but you want to have ancient on these units. You guys see Gojo also has ancient, and honestly, I will say that farming these are actually really easy. I recommend you guys do these from a summer event. You can pretty much get like these artifact rerolls, so you can use an artifact reroll to pretty much get artifacts. There's also these trait rerolls, and this is honestly the best way to farm for artifact rerolls and trait rerolls. But anyways, with that said, I'm gonna pretty much hop into this world boss event, and I'll show you guys how to beat it. Alright, so I'm pretty much in the event now. You can also macro this. It is sometimes, I guess it doesn't work sometimes, depends. If you have tiny tasks, this will most likely not work. There's one called informal tasks. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, tiny task has a bit of delay to it, so just keep in mind when you use tiny task. It sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So yeah, our goal is pretty much to stand over here. You want to have your unit manager open as well as your ability. We're gonna pretty much press start, and our goal is to pretty much place down the farms all the way down here. The reason why is because once the boss gets near like these farm units, and like for example Robin as well, which is a buff unit, you will auto delete the units. So just keep that in mind. You want to pretty much place those units over there, and then now you can pretty much upgrade them from over here. And then your goal is just get them to upgrade 3. Upgrade 3 is honestly good enough. So yeah, upgrade 3. That one's upgrade 3 now, and then we're gonna pretty much get this unit to upgrade 3. Now we're pretty much gonna place down all of our units. So there we go. And we're gonna place down Darkness unit as well. We're gonna place down Pucci. After you place down your Pucci, you're gonna pretty much activate Universe Reset, and then you're gonna place your Robin all the way back there as well. And for Robin, just all upgrade. And honestly, that's really it. Now you're pretty much gonna, once the boss comes back, you're gonna want to pop Gojo's domain. You're gonna want to pretty much wait a few seconds. You guys can see the boss pretty much he'll come back pretty much, and you're gonna want to pop pretty much Gojo's domain maybe after we do like, I want to say half a billion damage, my bad. So once we get to 3.5, we can pop domain, and honestly we should be fine. The boss will delete some of your units, so just place them down. He will most likely only delete Sukuna, mostly because I guess Sukuna does too much damage. But you guys can see the boss's HP goes down pretty quick, so we're pretty much gonna speed this up, and yeah, we're gonna pretty much kill this boss as soon as possible. And if you need, you can also activate some domains afterwards, because I'm pretty sure domains does not delete your unit. So you can, like, when the boss starts moving, you can pop like pretty much Sukuna's domain, you can pop darkness, full darkness domain, or just whatever you want, and then you honestly should be fine, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, you guys think the boss's HP is going down pretty quickly, so technically speaking, the boss hasn't even moved yet. He's about to move soon, but yeah, boss has started moving it, but we're honestly gonna kill it before we need to. Yeah, you guys can see the boss pretty much deleted your Sukuna. Most likely he will delete your Sukuna, but he will not delete any of these units. I'm like 90% sure, or like 100% sure he will not delete any of these units except for Sukuna, because of how much like Sukuna's damage output. His damage output is really insane. That's why the boss deletes your unit. You guys can read this if you guys want to. You guys, it will pretty much say like how you can use nuke, it'll delete your unit, and just all of that stuff. So yeah, in this event, you're pretty much relying on pure DPS, and I mean, you can use abilities as well. I'm pretty sure like these abilities are fine, but if you have like a full nuking ability, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. But yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much how you beat it. And I got Feathering again. Okay, I'll honestly take that. Don't know how I got so lucky getting her again, but honestly, we'll take it. I'll probably trade it off if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, honestly, that's really how you beat the event. I will say though, like I said, you do need Sukuna. You want to have Gojo if possible. Pucci is like a must. If you don't have Pucci, you also can use Makima, but I know most of you guys probably don't have Makima. You guys most likely will have Pucci compared to Makima, but who knows? I could be wrong. You guys can honestly trade off your units for like getting Sukuna, or like if you want like Pucci and stuff, but honestly, getting these units isn't really difficult. But anyways, with that said, that's pretty much how you beat the event, and now we're pretty much gonna get Exceliear traits on all these units, get good stats on all these units, and yeah, we're gonna be pretty much gonna be showcase all these units. Alright, so after pretty much rolling for all the traits and all the stats, the units are ready to be showcased. So you guys can see the stats, they all have pretty OP stats. So yeah, they're all Exceliear as well. So pretty much now we're gonna hop into infinite mode, and yeah, I'll showcase these units. Alright, so let's get started with the showcase. So first, unit we're going to showcase is this Featherline unit, or Featherline. I don't really know how to pronounce your name, but animation looks pretty much something like this. She just throws a bunch of rocks, and then Scriptoria looks something like that. It's also a line AoE as well. Okay, pretty cool. It looks like she throws a bunch of planets. So, alright, so max stats is 2.6 is actually pretty good. So we're gonna place on Robin. We're gonna max Robin now as well. So her stats goes up to 4 million. Okay, so she also has ability which can go through later. Passive. Let's go through the passive first. Passive, loop of eternity. If Featherling is killed by a boss, the boss is instantly returned to its starting position, and Featherling or Featherline's HP is fully restored. Okay, I'm not sure what's the point of fully restoring the HP, but okay. So reality, okay, so she has 4 ability, that's a lot. Okay, so reality rewrite, when attacking enemies within range, has a 2% chance to completely recalculate the enemy's HP, randomly setting it to between 1 or times 1.2 to 3 times lower its current value. Okay, I mean, that's not bad of an ability. Divine Reflection, when the boss attacks her, she reflects the damage back with knockback equaling to her base damage. Okay, also a good ability, I guess. Internal Blessing, Featherling cannot be stunned by bosses. All allies across the entire map gains a 33% damage buff. Okay, while she remains active, the buff is lost after she disappears. Okay, so every unit around gets a 33% damage buff. So I'm assuming it stacks up with this buff as well. Let's say we're gonna use Denji for example. So 2.9 million, but then let me see here. Yeah, 2.4 million, and then we place her down. Denji does 2.9 million. Yeah, okay, that's actually a really good ability. So she also has a manual ability called Metaphysical Revelation. So upon activation, all ally units within range are converted into damage power for each Featherline, plus 5% damage each, up to 500% total. So each unit gets converted. So I mean, that's pretty good if you're, I guess, having like multiple people or like multiple units. That's pretty nice. then deals a single strike to all enemies on the map, increasing her damage against them by 555%. Does not amplify self damage. Okay, so we can pretty much activate this ability. It looks something like this. Damage wise, let's see, so 12.6 million. I mean, there's only one unit down there, so I mean, I guess it makes sense why she doesn't do as much damage. But and she also deletes your unit. Okay, I mean, that's at least good to know that she deletes your unit as well. So yeah, because it converts it to, like, I guess this power thingy ability. But after a while, I'm pretty sure she loses the power thing ability. I'm pretty sure she loses it though. So yeah, but that's pretty much Featherline. She's actually quite a good unit, buffing as well, and she actually does decent damage with her passive. Her passive is actually pretty decent, so she's actually, I'm assuming that she's a meta unit, so she probably is though. So yeah, honestly, she's pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna pretty much go through Denji real quick. Denji, this is what his stats look like, and he also has crit as well. Okay, so that's actually pretty nice. Let's see the attack animations. Okay, pretty simple, something too crazy. Upgrade, so Chainsaw Berserk, full AoE. Okay, that's actually quite good. So max him out, that's pretty much his stats without the buff, so that's actually quite good if I'm gonna be honest. Alright, so passive ability, Bloody Overdrive. When power point exceeds 3 or 30%, increase self damage based on percentage of power gain, and force every attack or every hit to inflict bleed 15% instantly. So power points, which I'm not even sure what power point is. Oh, it's this thing down here. Okay, so that's what power point is. Exceed 30, increasing self damage based on the percentage of power gain. Okay, quite good of ability. So Chainsaw Frenzy. Each time Denji attacks an enemy, gains plus 3 power points. Okay, up to 100%. Each attack has a chance of dealing black damage plus 15% and critical hit. Okay, so it deals 50% plus 50% damage versus bosses. Cannot be stunned or damaged by boss directly. Attack deals 1 point or times 1.5 damage against enemies with any debuff. Okay, pretty good of ability as well. Cannot be stunned, which is honestly pretty damn amazing. So last ability called Berserk Awakening. At 100% power point, automatically enters madness mode for 15 seconds. Gains 100% attack. Okay, plus 40% range or attacking range, and minus 20% cooldowns. After effects end, all power resets to 0. So I'm assuming it's going down right now. He gains 100% damage. That's why it's going down. So that's quite good of an ability. I'm gonna be honest with you all. So now let's say we place down Robin, and we're also gonna place down Featherine just to check out his stats. So he does 4 million. Okay, we drop Featherine as well. So now let's check out his stats. Yeah, it's increasing and decreasing that, so just keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure once he gets to like 100%, his damage might be above 4 million, I'm assuming. Yeah, there we go, 4.9 million just on pure DPS. That's quite good if I'm gonna be honest. And he also does bleed as well, which is kind of insane. So Chains of Oblivion. Okay, so after casting, instantly gains 50% or plus 50% energy, attacking all enemies on the map, and increases his own damage by plus 99%. Okay, so 999% immediately. Okay, so I'm actually pretty curious to see his damage. I want to wait till he gets to 100% and then we activate this, and then his damage might go pretty insane if I'm going to be honest. Alright, so yeah, we're going to activate just now because it's at 81% already. Actually, I'm going to wait to 100%. There we go. Okay, so 5 million, pretty insane. So now let's activate. Yeah, look at that, 18.7 million. That's honestly really insane of an ability. Like, I mean, I know the abilities only activate once, or you can only activate it once, and I'm assuming it only hits once, but still, that was like 18.7 million, and yeah, that's probably one of the highest number I have seen in this game, if I had to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much Denji, the Dark Chainsaw Devil. Now we're gonna go through power. Alright, oh yeah, she's already max stats. That's fine, honestly, we're gonna keep that. Animation wise, it doesn't really matter too much. The animation, I mean, the final animation looks basic. The first animation isn't really cool, so we're not gonna care about that too much. But this is pretty much her stats with Featherline and Robin's pretty much her max buff. So passive ability, so Crimson Surge. When a boss appears and has over 1 billion HP powers, total damage increased by 200%. That's quite good. Alright, so Blood Overdrive. Every time an enemy is in the map is affected by bleed, power in this form gains +1 damage up to a maximum of plus 44. So Blood Overdrive. Every time an enemy in the map is affected by bleed, power in this form gains +1% damage up to a maximum of plus 444%. So does she inflict bleed herself? So she doesn't inflict bleed, which means that you honestly might need Denji. Yeah, Denji, he does have bleed, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so pretty good of a character as well. You guys can see her damage is going up now because Denji is applying bleed to the enemy, and of course every time she attacks, she pretty much buffs her own damage and up to like this much percentage, so that's pretty insane. But anyways, let's go through her passive real quick, or not her passive, her ability. So Crimson Feast deals 444 damage to all enemies across the maps and buff all units that are inflicted, or buff all units that inflict bleed, doubling their bleed damage 2x, okay, for 25 seconds, even if the unit does not have a bleed artifact. That's quite good. I mean, for a bleed unit, it's mostly the Chainsaw Man unit. I don't really know like any other unit that does bleed, if I'm gonna be honest, but it's mostly the Chainsaw Man unit that does bleed. So really good of an ability to pair up with like Denji, or I'm assuming Makima, and some like Darkness Devil as well, and probably like Aki as well. Pretty much all those Chainsaw Man units. So really good of ability. Now we're gonna activate it real quick. And 8.3 million, quite good of a, honestly quite good stats. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's not, of course, it's not better than Denji or Featherline, Featherline. I don't really know how to pronounce her name, so I'm gonna. It's either Featherline or Featherline, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much Power, the Blood Devil, and yeah, now we're gonna be showcasing Ellen Joan. We're gonna place her down real quick. I don't think she's from Chainsaw Man, so just keep that in mind. This is pretty much her stats, nothing too crazy. So overall, pretty decent as well. So now let's go to her passive. So Frostmark. When an enemy is hit with Ellen Joan's critical attack, applies Frostmark for 10 seconds. Her next attack against the marked enemy deals plus 100% additional damage and is guaranteed to crit. Okay, that's pretty nice if I'm gonna be honest. Critical hit, are they okay? So I'm assuming all the enemies are just automatically apply with critical hit. There's like no chances. Yeah, from the looks of it, she auto applies critical hit to like the enemy or whatever that critical attack. I don't know why I say critical hit, but this critical attack ability. So Killing Tempo. Each time Ellen Joan lands a critical attack, she gains 1 stack of Killing Tempo, expire after 5 seconds of inactivity. Upon reaching 5 stacks, her next attack will become a full AoE, dealing critical damage plus or times 2 to all enemies in the range and freeze them for 2 seconds. Pretty good of an ability as well, so she gets stacks. Okay, so yeah, she will honestly, so she's like a splash AoE right now, but I'm assuming soon she's probably going to become a full AoE or something like that. Alright, so she also has an ability called Frost End. Unleashes a full map attack. Okay, increase her own damage by plus 442% instantly and freeze all enemies for 30 seconds in a single strike. Okay, honestly, similar to a time stop unit if you really want to think of it that way. This ability definitely isn't better than Gojo's ability. I mean, Gojo, I think he has the strongest time stop in the game. But I mean, she could be useful, I guess, depending on if you don't have like other like time stop units. So she could be useful. But I mean, other than that, those are pretty much the 4 units that they add to this update. I know that this video will be out a little bit later because honestly, like I said, grinding the world boss event is really annoying, and 1% drop rate, and it's really difficult to macro as well. I mean, it's doable, but sometimes you might not complete the stage, which could mess up your macro, so just keep them in mind. But anyways, with that said, that's really it for this video, and yeah, I'll end off the video here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Came up from the bottom, better move with caution. When I bring this out from the form, I'm a slave. When I pull up, get thunderclap, my slayers running back. Make sure these demons remember the name. Dirty like EU when I'm dead calm. Till I get hot, but I see through all your dead plots. I'm in the guys that need to cut your head off. Pull up with your demons and make sure they next gone. Been like a pen on my lessons, breathing when I'm breath flies. That wrong, thinking that's my best shot. Flower guy, hero, call me crocodile. Upper moon, lower moon, say I'm like a hot shit out. Whirlpool flow, cause I'm trying to drip. Flash dance, leaving mans in a dry eclipse. They talk shit, see your antennas coming out from inside your mouth. So tomorrow